And one of those gentlemen is Mark Neal. And last thing I can say, without giving a bio, is that you're going to find that he's a real star speaker today. So Mark, come up.
So before I start, I just want everyone in the room to take a minute to think about what you thought of me as you saw me weaving through the tables, standing in the corner. What was your first impression? I don't want to know what it is, but I want you to be honest with yourself and tell yourself what you thought, who you thought I was. I was introduced to DCF by no fault of my own. Unfortunately, there were some circumstances that introduced DCF into my son's life by some things that his mom had done. So, quite naturally, I love my son. When DCF stepped in, they took my son, and I stepped up and said, hey, I'm his dad. I'll take him. I live in a one-family house. My mother was there at the time I was married, and I had 3 other kids in the house. I had an extra room for them, big backyard. A lot of fun times. I was stopped at the door. Hold on. Because they pulled my cord and said, oh no, you can't have it. We have to make sure that you're okay to take it. But I'm a married man. My mother's in the house. I got 3 other kids in the house. This is my son. I'm sorry. You're going to have to stop. So quite naturally, I was upset. I said to the DCF worker, what is it that I'm going to have to do in order to get my son? I thought it was very unfair because they didn't know me. But I was judged based on my parents and based on what my court said. That was my son we were talking about. So, with that being the case, I said I'll do whatever I have to do because I got to get my man back. I was told I have to attend a nurturing fathers class as a part of my service plan. I said, nurturing fathers class? I don't need that. I'm a super dad. I got 3 kids in the house right now. My mother and my father were in the house when I was a kid. I know what I'm doing. I don't need anyone to tell me how to raise my children. But because I know I can't buck the system, I have to do what I'm being asked to do. So I entered this nurturing fathers class. I didn't need it, but I did it because they said this will prove to us that you really want your son. Now let me stop right here. I had to prove to DCF that I wanted my son and that I could take care of my son. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think, as a matter of fact, scratch that, I know that mothers mess up time and time again, and they're given chance after chance. Dads, on the other hand, it's like a one-shot deal. You screw up and you're pretty much out the picture. So, I said I'm going to do what I have to do because I need my man. There's no reason for him to be in a foster home. He has a dad who cares about him, a loving family. So, I went to the Nurturing Fathers program. And I went in, and I looked just like this. And I met this gentleman named John O'Neill. And the first thing I said to him is, I'm not here because I want to be. I'm here because I was told that I have to be. I don't need this. I'm here, but I'm not going to participate because I don't need to learn anything that you guys have to say. So that first night, we sat down, we formed a circle so everyone could see everyone. Everyone got up, they introduced themselves, and told a little bit about themselves. I got up, I told them my name, and I said, I don't need to be here. And I sat down. A couple of other guys in the room that also didn't want to be there, that felt like they didn't need to be there. Well, at the end of the first class, I had to retract a couple statements. Okay, all right. I know why I'm here now. I said some things at the beginning. I'll take those back. I do need to be here. I see that I can learn some things about parenting that I didn't even know. So, one of the things that made this class so profound is that the facilitator, he was just so open. He would talk about his own personal experiences growing up, raising his children, just in life in general. Mr. John O'Neill, very, very great man. He talked, and he went through the curriculum, and as he went through, he gave a piece of himself, and I was touched. I said, wow, this man can talk to us about his experiences in life, raising his children, what his dad did to him. He's opening up, he's giving. I said, wow, well, I think maybe I should give too. So as the weeks went on, we all talked about our personal experiences, and I would hear things from other guys about their upbringing and the way they raised their children. Some of the stuff I could use. I would take that, and I would go home, and I would implement that in my household. And there were things that I did that they didn't do. So I would share my experiences, and they would take that and go home and implement that with their kids. It was just a bunch of guys just sharing and giving. It was just so open. I was really glad that I stayed. Sharing continued. By week 8, that was when we actually did our play date. Week 8, the middle of the group. All the guys bring their families, they bring their kids, and everyone just joins together. We just have a really good time. So by now, we're real comfortable with each other. We've talked about some of our most deepest, intimate secrets, some of the things that we were ashamed of and that we were afraid to talk about. We shared those things. And it was just so incredible. You had this group, 13 guys, and everybody is sharing. And it is just such a great feeling when you have guys that are talking about things that they never were able to talk about before. About how their dads treated them and how they took that and implemented that with their kids. But now they realize that that's not right. They had to make changes. And as this went on, the sharing continued. And as the weeks went by, and we continued to share, we continued to grow. we learned. By the end of the Nurturing Fathers program, I got my son back. I felt so overwhelmed that I was able to do it, that I was able to prove that I was good enough to take my son. I feel I should have been given a little bit more credit from the beginning, but I did what I needed to do in order to get him back home. Unfortunately, as time went on, I got divorced. The beautiful part is, I went into the court and I filed for custody of my 2 daughters, and I won. I now, as a single parent, raise my 8-year-old son, my 7-year-old daughter, and my 3-year-old daughter. In addition to those accomplishments in my life, I was asked to become a facilitator in the Nurturing Fathers program. At this point in time, I have facilitated the Nurturing Families program, the Nurturing Fathers program in Weymouth, and I'm currently facilitating the Nurturing Fathers program in Roxbury. So I have 2 groups that are going on. One now that I do on Thursday nights, and I do another one that's on Monday nights. It's a great feeling knowing that I can help other guys. When the guys come into the group, I see that same emotion that I had when I first came into the group. And I share my experience and tell them, it's all right. You have to talk about how you're feeling and get it out, and then move on to the next phase. It's very important for me to be able to reach these guys and let them know you got to hang in there for your children. It's so easy for guys to walk away. A lot of times they do. A lot of guys feel defeated before they even start. I'm glad to say that I'm here and able to show these guys as an example, you can win. In addition to my facilitating, I'm also part of the Fathers Speak Team. The Fathers Speak Team is a group of fathers that go around and do what I'm doing today. We talk to different DCF area offices and anywhere that we are invited to talk about fatherhood engagement. In addition to that, I am also a member of the Parents Advisory Council for DCF. I've grown. I have come from being a super dad to being an extra super dad. The Nurturing Fathers program is a 13-week program. It's a program that I really, truly believe in because it has helped me to turn into the person I am today. I love my children. As a child, I was told, I love you, a lot. So that was already instilled in me. But I learned that being a parent is a learned behavior. We are taught how to be good parents. We take what our parents gave us and we use that. Some of the stuff they give us is great and we continue to use it. Some of it's not so great. So we toss that to the side and we then add some of our own stuff. So, with that said, I would like to thank you for giving me this opportunity to speak to you. If there is anything that I can do personally to help in any way, I extend myself. Thank you.